Yes, Si. Back in the garden again. How are we doing, Si? Are we happy today?
Station. Look at this. Look.
Oh, it's a train station.
It's a steam train railway. Bit of history.
You had me fooled by that background. It's good. You got a nice angle going on there.
This is probably some neighbour's bush that I probably shouldn't be seeing outside, but never mind. It's started raining as well. Fantastic.
Oh, is that analogous to the game, or were you happy with the performance?
I think the performance was great. I think was it Adam at the beginning? Of course, the first 20 minutes took a bit of time to go. Oh, please don't start this again. But in general, I think I messaged Ben actually around about 25 minutes. I said, actually, we're picking this up, and we started some really good patterns of play. And I believe I thought our first goal was fantastic in the whole movement and build up. Sanchez at the back read the attack very well, and that pushed the ball straight forwards. Moura did fantastically well to get past a couple of players with a bit of trickery and things like that, and thread it through, and we got the goal. And I thought it was a fantastic finish as well. I think the last 5 minutes of the first half were tad concerning. I think it's a bit of a reflection on how we have been this season in terms of switching off, I think it was Davis kicking the ball up in the air, hoping that it would go out, but it ended up going back into the middle of our box, and then Toby couldn't quite clear it very well. And I think they hit the post actually from that. But the second half, again, I was actually really disappointed with the goal that they scored, to be honest. I think if you look at it, and I'm sure people will watch the highlights, Son has done this a number of times. He hasn't tracked back. I was watching it very closely, and he just gave up. He stopped running and went, oh, well, that's too far now. Now, I don't mind if a player tries to go and get the ball back and doesn't, but the fact that he just literally did exactly what he did, was it Sheffield, the game the other week?
Everton.
Yeah, Everton, sorry. And I'm thinking, guys, this is a team effort. This is a team ethic that you guys are trying to build, and you're just not seeming to learn to. I'm hoping that it just gets kicked out completely. But that principle related to a goal, and how many times have we seen that this season? But how many times have we seen it recently where it's been picked up on and still not changed? So it's a bit concerning in that sense. And also, the Everton game, we got let off there. So this is proof in the pudding that you need to have concentration throughout the whole game. If you lose the ball, go and get it back. Because that, in my opinion, was the catalyst of the cause of that goal. Put everyone on the back foot, put everyone in uncertainty again, and that's how we conceded it. But positivity, come on, Sam, is that within a few minutes, we were up the other end and we scored. And this is what we wanted, the reaction, that old characteristic that we have for the last few years of where, things aren't going great, but it's okay. We're going to get our heads back together and get back into the game. And Steve-O's cross was absolutely brilliant. And this is what Harry lacks at the moment, is the service. He is not fit, Harry Kane. He's not fit, and he's not going to be this season. So what's really more important right now is to get that ball to him, to his feet or on his head, with the best accuracy possible, because he hasn't got the pace to chase balls in this day. Now, we've seen that. So what better way to show that today with that amazing cross, perfectly positioned onto Harry's head, and that's the 2-1, isn't it? So, what fantastic. I think it's overall, if you compare it to previous games, obviously the Arsenal one was a bit of an improvement, but prior to that, this was a great step in the right direction, in my opinion, and we should all take real positives from this. Couple of instances, in my opinion, in midfield throughout the game where we were maybe bullied off the ball too easily, or perhaps not concentrating enough, or letting players go past us too easily. But in general, that will get stamped out. I believe Winks has performed well again. Sanchez was solid. It goes without saying that Serge showed unbelievable character to put his name on that sheet. Okay, we know he's not great ability football-wise, but we must acknowledge that this guy has clearly got a dedication to want to play in the team and try and do something. So, overall, I'm pretty pleased, mate. Thank you.
And do you think it's kind of a pattern that we're seeing of maybe it's a mentality shift or something? Because against Sheffield United, we conceded and scored straight away, even though the goal was ruled out. Against Arsenal, conceded and scored straight away. Today, again, conceded and scored straight away. Is that? Do you think maybe I'm reading too much into that, or maybe there's a bit of a pattern emerging?
Yeah, I think it's good to acknowledge that, and I think it's true. It's definitely happening. And in the Pochettino era, yes, there were games where we would go behind on occasion and react very quickly, and that's what you need. I mentioned already that, I mean, I feel that we were quite solid throughout the whole pitch for the majority of the game. And to have responded like we did, we must be positive and acknowledge that and take that forwards. Because in the previous games, we may have gone a goal behind and gone, well, that's that then. I can't really be bothered anymore. So we can't complain about this. We have to take this massive positivity today for me, all round. And yes, do look into it, Sim, because it's definitely something to be.
I will.
I'll
be sure to. I'll be sure to look into it. And also, I want to chat about. If you look at how the game went in terms of the style of play, I think for a lot of the game, Newcastle actually had majority possession, which is unlike how this game would have been probably for the last 4 or 5 years. This kind of game, we would never really see possession to a team who are lower mid-table. But I thought, again, when we went forward, we looked dangerous, but you could argue that we didn't go forward that many times, but we did look fairly clinical when we did. In terms of style of football, do you think we're just playing with what we got at the moment, or do you think this is a very concerted effort to kind of sit back against a team who are low mid-table and wait for a counter-attack, and this is how Jose likes to play? Or do you think he's just kind of working with what he got, what he's got at the moment, and to be defensively solid, that's how he's got to play?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both of them, because we know that we need to add some players, and we've only got what we've got, right, to put on the field and everything. So he's doing his best, probably like Pochettino was for a few years, trying to do the best with the team that he had. We know it should have been improved on many occasions, but it hasn't been. We can't change anything. It's 3/4. Well, no, we're at the end now, but when the lockdown finished and we came back, we're 3/4 away. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to try and improve and do the best you can with what you've got. So I think today was a bit of a catalyst for that. I think Adam picked on the point that Jose needs to work out the combination of that flowing football that we want to try and play, but equally the most important thing for us was to stamp out those mistakes in defence so that we have the confidence to then go, okay, we have confidence now to push forward, to get into that final third more and be more creative. Because at the moment still, I think that we're not fully there, in the sense that if we lost the ball in the other end, there's still not a full confidence that we're going to deal with it up the other end. And it's like Mourinho says, if your defence is terrible, you're not going to win anything. So again, I think today, we did deal with a lot of things. If you looked at our back four, which I believe is what the formation was today, it was pretty strong. And Toby was giving his leadership out there, shouting about and everything and putting everyone in line. I think we did deal with it. But yeah, we have to, I think I said the last game, we have to be patient, see what happens in the summer transfers. I'm not holding my hopes up too high with getting too many players in, but we have to just try to get that mix together of the free flowing attacking football, but equally not be silly in the back, and if it means that we have to sit back after a goal is scored and play maybe some dull football but get 3 points, then that's what we have to do. You could say the years and years ago when United used to do that, they never always played attractive football. They might have got their draw when they needed to, or an important win by sitting back for 20 odd minutes at the end of it. This is the difference. We can't have both right now. So we need to be realistic and be patient, Sim, to take this to another level, hopefully next season.
So I just got a bit distracted because Arsenal just went 1-0 down, so that put a smile on my face.
That's a beautiful distraction.
No better distraction in world football, I don't think. But we're 7th at the moment, side. Last question. We're 7th at the moment. Wolves had a bad result today, drew against Burnley, last minute equaliser for them. We're now 1 point behind Wolves. I think 7th at the moment. I think 6th at the moment is good enough for Europa League, depending on who wins the FA Cup. It could be 7th, looking likely to be 7th. You think we're looking good for Europa League, or is still a lot of work to be done?
Yeah, well, we're 2 games left now, Leicester and Palace. So, in my opinion, we should be winning against Leicester. We appear to be finally fixing a few things and moving in a better direction. Leicester are doing the opposite. So we need to take advantage of that. Yes, of course, Leicester might want to prove a point in our game on Sunday. But I believe Europa we should now go for. It's Europe at the end of the day. It's an excuse to go to the stadium again and see you guys hopefully next season more and more. So that for me, that's it. Like, of course, we want to have brand presence and club presence in Europe, no matter how that comes along, and it's good experience for some players that maybe need to get used to that a bit more with us. So yeah, I think we're I'm not going to say we're nailed on for Europa because anything can happen in these 2 games, but I'm more confident after this Arsenal performance and today to know that we're a lot more stable than we were before going into these last 2 games, for sure.
All right. Nice one, Si. Okay. Always a pleasure to have you on, man.
Oh, nice by the way,
go on.
I've got Deli here, famous. No, this is actually my dog Deli.
Deli. Nice to see you, Deli.
Deli. Sonny's at home. I do actually call my dogs after Spurs players because I'm weird. But come on, you Spurs guys. That's great today.
Nice to see your dog.
Bye.
Nice to see you, Si. Come on, you Spurs.